Amy.
All right, I am putting us on record. We are now official. So what I'd like to do is I would like to do a really quick introduction of my friend. So quick story. I was brand spanking new to this group. I had no idea who this group was or what to expect, but it was a women's group. It was a 2-day event. And I was a little bit unsure about if I was going to stay or I was going to go. So I met this woman who very kindly took me in. I'm not joking, like I was an orphan, took me in and housed me over the weekend. And during the housing, I found out that she did Bazi Astrology as well as Feng Shui, and proceeded to also give me a quick read. And just so you know, a quick read with Janet is never quick. And I thought I really want to spend more time with her, get to know her a little bit better. And so I enjoy her so much. I thought it'd be great to share her with you all. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to introduce to you my friend and master, Janet Louie. So thanks a lot.
Hi, everyone. So nice to meet you.
So let's get started. So first of all, a lot of people here, I don't even know if they know about Bazi. Two things is that a lot of people, when they know about Feng Shui, or what they do believe they know about Feng Shui, comes from Master Lin Yang and the Black Hat sect, in which, you know, everything is mouth of qi. So I may already be saying things that people aren't, they're not aware of. So I'm going to ask you to back it all the way up about that. And the other is that I know a little bit about astrology, but Bazi astrology is completely different, and it's mind-blowing. So if you could talk a little bit about that as well, and if it's okay with you, have the crowd just ask questions however you want.
Absolutely, yes. Bazi astrology is about 4,000 years old. It goes back to 907 AD, and it was started by Zhu Ziping. And it's considered one of the branches of the, I don't know if you guys know about the 5 arts, the Chinese Metaphysics. There's 5 different areas. They call it the Chinese Wushu, or the 5 arts. But it goes under destiny. So it's considered destiny reading. And it is very ancient, and it, you know, I learned from Joey Yap, so he has an elaborate amount of classes on Bazi astrology. But Bazi basically means, you know, under the 5 arts, it's Ming, which means, you know, your destiny, your fate. And the Chinese believed thousands of years ago that when you took your first breath, your Bazi was formed and it was set and it couldn't be changed. And what I do is I teach the basic Bazi class to people, to Westerners, and they find it mind-boggling because it is like a different language. It is overwhelming when you first learn it. But if you stick to it, it's just the most precious thing you ever learn, because you can really see into people's life and guide them the way they should be guided based on their birth chart. So it is astrology. It's Chinese astrology. It's parallel to Western astrology. It's very parallel. You know, the Western astrology talks about planets, and we talk about different things like earthly branches, but it's basically the same thing. It's the way the earth, you know, goes around the sun. You know, we call it the branches. And the hidden stems are the 28 constellations, and the heavenly stems on top are, you know, the 5 planets, you know, which Western astrology talks about: Venus, Mars, you know, Jupiter. So that's basically astrology, Chinese astrology in a nutshell. It's one of the 5 arts, and it's been around for a long time.
Okay, thank you. That was great. And then
Yeah.
the whole thing about Feng Shui. So the Feng Shui that I have learned is, it's called Black Hat Sect. There are different branches, again, different branches or different lineages. and this lineage is from Master Lin Yang, and I would say it's the most contemporary or the most Western of all the Feng Shui practices. In traditional Feng Shui practice, they use a compass, and then based on the compass, they lay this thing called the bagua, which is an octagon, and then from there it reads the property as well as the house. In Black Hat sect, they get rid of the compass, and so they just say whatever your front door is this. And there are a lot of similarities, but because it's the most contemporary, I think sometimes, and this is no disrespect to Professor Lin Yang, because that is also an amazing branch, is that some things are they're explained a little bit differently. So can you talk about a little bit about the astrology, not the astrology, the Feng Shui?
We consider that like New Age astrology, Professor Lin Yuan, because he did come to the U.S. and he did kind of popularize Feng Shui.
Yeah.
The type that I practice is classical. So the bagua moves according to the direction of your door, your front door. And there's a lot of things added on to it, like Zhuanggong Dagua. We could start talking about hexagrams, versus with Lin Yuan, his bagua set. And it's set, there's I guess there's one corner in it set, and each section of the bagua set. But with our bagua, it moves according to our lopan and what we see as a direction, a facing and sitting direction. And he uses, I'm not putting him down, he uses a lot of prayer and mantras and hand gestures. And we don't do that. We just use basic Feng Shui formulas. We don't even believe in like the little, what do you call that, trinkets? To put like a stupa in a corner to ward off the 5 yellow. We don't believe in that. We just place you where the energy is the best and keep you away from, you want to be on the good side of Qi always in Feng Shui, and that's what we do. But we use our lopan. It's all formula. We calculate something called your gua, and we could do that as an exercise. We could calculate people's gua and see if it matches their personality, because each one of you belong to a part of the compass. And I've had teachers that actually do it. They do life palace readings, and they can see exactly how you react to the qi in the house, and it's right on. So to me, it's more fascinating. This part of classical Feng Shui is more fascinating to me than the New Age. So I was always exposed to classical.
Now you know why I do the New Age, right?
Yeah.
Right. I love cures. The cures are amazing.
Yeah.
So so that's really exciting. So does anybody have any questions before we? Otherwise, I'm going to pick a topic, which always makes it good for me, right? Anybody have any questions for Janet before we move on? This is conversation style, so go ahead and just
Does anyone want to know their gua and if it fits their personality? Okay, Mo, what's the last 2 digits of your birth date?
7-1. The year?
The year.
Yeah, 7-1.
7-1? Okay, and 7-1 is 8, so it's a formula, okay? And for a female, we add 5, so 8 plus 5 is 13. 1 plus 3, so you belong to gua number 4, okay? And gua 4, okay, in classical Feng Shui, it's like a flower, okay? It appears beautiful, charming, but it can be manipulative, like creepers growing everywhere. They're good at communication. Are you good at communication? You're pretty good, or you're okay?
all her readings are about communication. So
yeah,
but improving it
doesn't mean that you're not good at it.
Oh, okay.
And so we see them as having traits of being flexible, like the creepers. So we compare it back to nature, your gua. So you're kind of, like the creepers, and grass. Think about grass; they survive. So you're a survivor. That's what. Am I right? And so like the grass in a hurricane, it blows and blows and blows, but it doesn't blow away. It stays put, you know, versus a tree, a Gua 3, you're Gua 4. So you're yin wood. You're considered yin wood. And then there's a whole personality thing about yin wood people, but they're considered very flexible survivors. But they can be fickle too. They can be manipulative, very manipulative. I have a daughter that's a yin wood, and she always gets her way with me. She knows how to wrap herself around my jaw wood.
Love it.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Considering it's stuck in me about getting a trailer and maybe living in that for a little while. Maybe that's not a good idea. I don't know. Like, is that something you think you could speak to?
A trailer?
Yeah, like a travel
Why do you need to move there?
Why what?
Why do you need to move in there? You feel like you want to, or?
Yeah. I'm thinking about traveling, and my whole life is like literally up in the air. So sort of like, well, maybe I should do the tiny house thing for a little while.
Well, if you need more direction, I can give you a one-on-one and for a reasonable, amount. And I guide people actually in my Bazi class. I'm teaching, and Cynthia's in it right now. It's called Bazi Success in Times of Crisis. And I go into your Bazi chart and I look to see which direction you should go to make the most money. And some of the people have taken it and they're making tons of money now. They're making more money than before the class. Yeah.
Wow.
One of the girls is a realtor and she's taken quite a few classes, and I told her to do launches, and she's been doing launches left and right. She's been making more money than before, and she's so happy. She got that little nugget from my class. But I throw out a lot of nuggets. I'm generous. Cynthia will tell you.
You said the first class, after the first class, I already, just basically after the first classes, of which there are 6, I already knew how to adjust what I was doing.
Oh, wow.
Because you get to choose, but there is a way to make it most optimal. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Who else wants their gua done?
Wants their gua done? Amy? The last
Amy
2
and
digits?
Santana. Don't be shy, party people.
Don't be shy, guys.
74.
Let's do it. This is Feng Shui, okay, by the way, when we figure out the gua, but it is in your Bazi chart what your gua is. But it's a section of the Bagua that you belong to and you're affected by. So when we do activations, it's better to go to your gua to ask for something. And let me tell you, classical Feng Shui is very powerful because it's been around for a long time. Especially, I have this free study group called Qi Study Group, and it's free, and anyone can join by, just messaging me saying you want to join. And there's a lot of free information given, and it's Qi Men. So Qi Men's very special. It's very spiritual.
Yeah. How about if I'll tag you when we're at 11:45, and I'll make sure that you put everything in the chat so that everybody has all your stuff.
Okay. Yeah,
right?
sure. I just give them my email. But you can reach me other ways.
Yeah.
But
I'll
Amy,
make sure to remind you.
Amy, let's do yours. What is your what's the last 2 digits of your birth date?
74.
Okay, 7 plus 4 is 11. Okay, I make it into 1 digit. This is a formula. Okay, so that's 2. And 2 plus 10 is 12. So you're a 3 gua. So you are yang wood. Okay, so you're a yang wood person. And a yang wood person basically can control the 5. Okay, they're basically considered very strong, steadfast, direct, and stern people, because think about a big tree. A big tree really is strong, and an oak tree, a redwood tree, not just grass or creepers. That's yin wood, but you're yang wood, and you basically are very strong, steadfast, and then you can be stubborn at times too.
No.
They tend to be the 3 wood tends to be impatient and kind of alpha type person. They are strong wood with sturdy, heavy legs. They tend to have heavy legs. I don't know if you have heavy legs, you know? No, you don't.
Yes.
You do? Okay. Yeah, that's one of the traits of Gua 3. They're stocky people on the legs. They have heavy legs, okay? And the symbol for Zhen Gua, we call it Zhen Gua. So that's the trigram you belong to. And it's thunder. So it's open. There's 3 lines in a trigram. And so it's open in the top 2 lines. The bottom line is solid. So yeah, so that's Gua 3 pretty much. They combine with 3, okay? And you can control the 5. So if you're sleeping in the worst part of the house right now, according to classical Feng Shui, is east. So you shouldn't have your office or your bedroom there. And if you do, you should have some type of cure. I actually moved out of my bedroom because I couldn't take the 5 yellow. But Amy here is pretty tough, and she can take the 5 yellow, you know, because wood breaks up the earth. Yeah, so keep away from the east corner of your house. You're not afraid of the 5.
Okay, so I need to stay away from the east. Now, is this, so I know that I'm a tiger year.
No, you don't have to. You can take the east.
Okay.
I'm just saying you can take it out of everyone, out of all the different Guas. You can take the east.
Wouldn't it still be harder though?
You can break up the energy because the east has Shachi, which is killing breath. Okay, and I've been studying this for a while, so I know what it does to people. It's invisible like COVID, so you really should keep away from it if possible. Every time I went to a house, and I went where the 5 yellow is, and this year it's in the east. Okay, so don't sleep there, because in, I think, December, there's going to be a 5 coming in for the month. And now you have 2 5s. So 5s are serious illness. That's what it means. So each one of those numbers, we use something called flying stars in Feng Shui. It means something. It means an energy. And some are good for you, like 8 is good. It's timely. And then, but 5 and 2 aren't. They're illness stars. So I actually moved my whole bed out of the east bedroom. But Amy, if anyone had to be able to control it, your Gua would be able to. Okay? Now, who's the next person?
Really quick, what I want you to know is that, Santana's next.
Okay.
I was on my phone looking for my compass to see where I am right now. So just in case you're wondering.
Yes,
really,
you're doing a
really
show.
Good thing to do.
You should be aware that the 5 is there. And let me tell you, when that monthly 5 comes in, the computers break down. It's really eerie. And I used to go to houses and it was the kids' bedroom, the 5 yellow, and they were sick. They were sick, you know, and they had to be moved. You know, it's about that bad. So it's a shachi. It has killing breath. You can't see it. It's like COVID. It's invisible. Okay. So I always warn people about 5 yellow.
Yeah. So check your phone for a free compass app and see where.
Yeah. And you know how to do it? You guys stand in the middle of the house and with your iPhone, your free compass, and just take down the 8 directions and you got it. It's 45 degrees from the center of where you're standing, the center of your living space. You got it, Mo? Frida?
I think so.
Stephanie? Okay. Any
It's always
questions?
fun when you get to play along. Just so you know.
I was just wondering, you talked about when you figure it out, for women you add a 5, and is it for men you add a 10?
Okay. For women, for men, you subtract 10.
Oh,
And then for women, you add a 5.
got it.
Yeah. And then if they're born past 2000, for women, you would add a 6. For men, you would subtract 9. So that's the formula to find out the Gua. And from your gua, you could get a life palace reading. And let me tell you, I was really spooked by it the first time my master did it for me. She knew everything about me and what was happening to me in the house. Because we basically, Feng Shui, we live in an energy field. And that energy field is based on the forms outside. And it's going to affect us, whether we like it or not. Okay? So you got good forms, it's good for you. If you have bad forms like me, it's bad for you. That's how I learned Feng Shui, is I realized that the Feng Shui in my house was challenging. So I knew that's why I went into this, to learn how to get out of it. And I did. And my luck is much better now. Okay, anybody else wants to know about their Ming
Santana was up next.
Oh, Santana. Okay, last 2 digits of your birth time.
How you doing, Janet? It's been
I'm fine. Hi, nice seeing you again, Santana.
Thank you.
Yeah.
6'4".
6'4", so that's 10, so that's 1. And we're going to add a 5 to it. So you're Gua 6. Okay, and I'm looking at my sheet here to find out about Gua 6. So Gua 6, let's see if I have it here. I don't have it. So Gua 6 basically belongs 4. Okay, so this is Gua 6. It's called Chen Gua, which is, it's 3 open lines. That's Chen Gua. Oh, no, 3 closed lines, excuse me, solid lines. And these type of people, they're like leaders. They like to be in control. Are you kind of like that? Like you like to be in control? Yeah, big time. So it's best to let them have their way.
You guys hear this?
Huh?
Yeah, I'm hearing
Yeah,
it.
it's best to let them have their way. Because they're leaders. That's the group, that's the number you go to if you want to start leading. And we have a 6 right now, in I believe the southeast part of the house. But they're basically, if it's a little kid, you better let them have their way, because they're going to be loud and they're going to be shouting, and so they're leaders. It's yeah.
Okay,
So that's basically how Gua 6 is. Pretty much, they have the leader in them. They like to be in control.
I
Okay.
hate that part, being in control, but I do like to lead because
Yes.
I enjoy
So that's
control.
part of your Gua, the Gua that you belong to. It's you take on that trait that you were born into, and it's based on that formula I just did for you. And it's everything so far has become somewhat true that I've said, right? Yeah. And there's also a way of figuring out like when the year energy comes in, but I don't have the chart with me. And, it affects you a certain way too. It determines your fate actually during the year. And I wish I prepared better, because I would have, and for you, because you're, I think you were Gua 6,
Yes.
you get along with your ideal mate. Is Anna a 1 Gua? You should find out. Do that formula, because 1 and 6 are a perfect match. A Gua 1 would be your perfect match. And for Amy, a Gua 8 would be your soulmate.
She's a Gua too.
No, Amy is a Gua 3.
Oh no, I was talking about Anne. You were
Oh,
asking.
she's a Gua 2.
Yeah, she's Gua too, because she's 6'9", which is 15 plus 5 is 20, which is 2. So she's a Gua too.
Okay, 6'9" is 15. 1 plus 5 is 6. Yeah, she's a Gua 2. Yeah. So it's okay. I mean, you guys do get along, 2 and 6. You're metal. You're metal and she's earth. So earth creates more metal. So she produces you. She helps you, so that's good.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else? Okay.
How about Frida? How about Frida, then Stephanie?
Frida first. Okay. Hi, Frida. So what's your last 2 digits?
So I'm 1980.
1980. Okay. So that's 8 plus 5 is 13. So you're also Gua 4. So you're like the flowers. It's yin wood. 4 is yin wood. You think of flowers, creepers, grass. It's yin wood. And like I told you, they tend to be very flexible. You know, they're very adaptable, and they know how to manipulate, you know, and the thing with Gua 4 is they depend on people. They're really, they like to climb on things, you know, so they're in life, you're better off having someone to depend on. Is that true? Do you feel better when you have support versus can you stand on your own 2 feet?
I think that as I get older, I'm learning how to stand on my own 2 feet because I've spent my
In the past, you have
I hide
wanted to hang on, you're dependent, yes, because of your Gua 4. It makes you like that, but you're a survivor, you know, because usually the Yinwood people are survivors, and they can make it through any type of problem, you know, because they know how to manipulate themselves around, like a creeping vine plant, you know, they can manipulate themselves around things, you know, to survive. All right. Is that good? Is that like you, or is that you, or not really? And you're Gua 4, so your ideal soulmate would be a 9 Gua. It would make you would be attracted to that person. Automatic attraction, instantaneous attraction. Gua 9. So look for that Gua 9. Do that formula and find the right partner. Yeah, and that's what Bazi readings do. We help people find out what they want out of a relationship. I think one time in one of the events at Thriving Women in Business, I did it for Ann Jonas, and she was shocked that I knew that she wanted loyalty, and it's written in her Bazi Astrology. And you can find it for anyone, your future partner, potential partner. You can find it. You know, it's amazing what you see. Yeah, and who's the last person? Stephanie?
Yeah, we got Stephanie, and then I think we had someone else after that.
You said Jenny?
I don't know. Let's see with Stephanie, and then I'll do a quick ask.
Stephanie, the last 2 digits of your
81.
81.
My God,
Okay,
baby.
so that's 9. 9 plus 5 is 14. So you're 5. So 5 becomes, 5 is kind of a neutral number. It's in the center of the Bagua. So we make the 5 person, if she's a female, an 8. So you're actually an 8 Gua, okay? And 8 Gua people are like the mountain. It's yang earth, okay? We think of it as a mountain. But 8 Gua people are kind of like volcanoes too, you know? And so you don't want to piss them off, because when they get mad, they really explode. Are you kind of like that? Or not really?
Kind of to the very extreme, but my
If someone
husband is also an 8,
do you
and
get
he
upset?
very much is.
Do you get upset when someone gets you really upset? Do you really blow up and you can't control it sometimes?
Sometimes.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a mountain, but the good part, there's good and bad. There's yin and yang in every Gua. Everyone has it in them. So the good part is you make people feel calm and comfortable and stable. Is that correct? Are you like that? Mm-hmm. Yes, you have this calming effect. But I don't want to get you upset, because I am a Gua, and when people get me upset, I just go off the handle. I did that with my sister, because she said, you can't talk about Feng Shui. And I love to speak about Feng Shui in front of my mother. She stopped me because she slept in the 5 yellow, and she ended up in the hospital because they activated the outside of the house. And I was trying to explain to her that it was Shachi, and she was a Christian, and she didn't believe in it. And she told me, I don't want to hear this negative crap out of you, out of your mouth. And we just, you know, I blew up. And my mom knows I'm like that. I'll take it in. You take it in. You'll take it in. You'll take it in. And then when someone really pushes you to the edge, like a volcano, you know, and it's rare I blow up like that, though. You know, it's just, But when people start telling me what to say, you know, I get upset. Yeah. Are you like that, Stephanie?
Completely. Like, yeah, once you push that right button at the very limit, then it's done.
Yeah, it's done. I'm a Gua 8, so I know exactly how you feel. Yeah. So, and I'm calm. I have a calming effect on people. I'm usually really patient, generally really, really patient, and people like me right away. Is there anyone else out there? Thanks, Stephanie.
Thank you, Janet. That was really insightful.
Huh?
Actually, we have Corinne, who's a dial-in, and she was having troubles getting in. She's also 1980, so she didn't get to hear all the stuff that you said to Frida, because you're 1980 as well, right? So I was wondering could you explain just a little bit more about 1980 so that Corinne can.
Okay, so 8 plus 5 is 13, that's 4. Again, that is the Gua 4, which is yin wood. I actually have a lot of being said for the Guas if you give me a minute, so I can look up Yi wood. So it's considered Yi wood, and it's the image of stems, buds, cuttings, suckers, vines, plants, flowers, twigs, grass. And the character, okay, is they're usually very discreet, they're private, they're kind of on the sneaky side. They're witty, they're clever, they're responsive, they're flexible. That's the most important thing, is they're very flexible. They can cheat, but they're extraordinarily adaptable. So whenever I think of an image or the personality of an Gua 4 person, it's usually flexible, and they're very adaptable, like a creeping vine plant. But they can be a little fickle too. They can manipulate because they know how to, creep up trees or poles to survive. So they're the people born in this day master, and you're Yi wood day master, Yi wood. They're dependent on something to lean on. So they're devoid of a trunk or a spine. They're crafty and almost always find a way to climb using whatever support they can. And it combines your ideal mate. When we look at a Bazi chart, your soulmate would be a Gong male or female. I don't know if you're gay. If you are, then it would be a Gong female. So they're dependent on people in the beginning, but eventually they can survive. To be useful, the Yi wood just sometimes needs Zen metal. Imagine grass being trimmed. Okay, so Gong is a useful tool too. So Gong would be your soulmate. Is that enough for you?
Yeah, no, that's good.
Now I'm opening a book to tell you more.
Yeah, no, I'm actually, so I find a couple of things really interesting. So I have a couple of questions for you.
Uh-huh.
So I was born in 66, so I think that makes me an 8 as well, which is the same as Stephanie. You're an 8, right, Stephanie? Is that, so now because I'm an 8 versus a 5 that became an 8, is there a difference, or is it straight up?
It's the same. I mean, 5 is in the center of the Bagwas, so it doesn't belong to a trigram. So it's never included in the formula. It becomes one of the 8 other areas in the house.
So Stephanie's like way more flexy than me.
It's like neutral 5. So that's why we convert it into 2 for a male and 8 for a female. Yeah, right. But there's so much more to learn, and it's so amazing. The Life Palace reading, you'll be shocked that all the stuff that's invisible. And we use something called 9 flying stars, which is a mathematical technique. So our type of feng shui is all formula and math and thousands of years of knowledge, versus Lin Yun is more intuition, prayer, mantras, hand gestures. There's nothing, I'm not putting down anyone, but I really believe that the formulas are really, really powerful, and they can change you. I have activated a corner, and before I activated the corner, I sounded really bad. And, you know, I found it sounded sickly. And when I activated that corner for health, a few hours later, I called the girl and she goes, "Oh, you're so lively. You're so, you know, you sound so healthy, you know." And it's just doing an activation, placing water somewhere at the right time and date, you know. So I do that too. I'm also a date selection practitioner as well as a Chinese astrologist. I'm pretty, you know, I've been learning this for a while. Yeah. Anybody else want their gua read?
I think you got everybody based on their numbers. So Kathleen,
Okay.
Kathleen is a 4, so she already knows. Because
Okay.
you already hit hers, and I'm 8.
Do you want to slow it down, or do you want me to, on the chat, to put my email so people could reach me if they want a private reading?
Well, let's do that in a few minutes. Let's just.
Or you want me to answer questions some more?
Let's.
Kathleen didn't ask me anything. I feel left out. Like, Kathleen, do you want to ask me a little something? Do you want to say the last 2 digits of your birth date? Or?
Oh, so actually my last 2 digits are 53, so I calculated that from your calculations as a 4. But
Okay.
I don't, what I want to do is, I also want to travel. I don't need to make money. So I would like to know where my future goes.
Oh, okay. The direction to travel?
Or just any, you know, yes.
I don't know. You know, I would have to look deeper into your gua.
Yeah, so I'm going to
see
make
which. Yeah, it would probably take a private reading, and for this group, I'll probably give you a very special price. I basically find it very fulfilling right now for me because I'm helping people through the pandemic.
Yeah,
and getting results. They're getting results from what I'm doing. And normally, you know, I'm very expensive hourly, but for this group, I will make it affordable to see me privately one-on-one, and I can leave you with my calendar address, and you guys can get a hold of me or set up an appointment time, and I'm more than happy to help you for a very small price. Yeah, and it's going to be reasonable and affordable.
So let's do that in just a few more minutes to see if anybody has any other questions.
I have a question.
Who's that speaking? Who has a question?
Santana?
Kathleen, are you done then, Kathleen?
I just wanted to say I uploaded the compass and I found out that I'm sleeping in a place of failure. So I'm going to move my room.
Failure? Where's that at? Failure?
Well, that's what it says on
which compass are you doing, a Lin Yun or a classical Feng Shui compass?
It says Feng Shui compass from the app.
I think you may want to wait until you talk with Janet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have a 2-story house?
Yes.
So you may want talk with Janet because that may also apply. Okay.
Okay.
So hang in there. I'd much rather you only move.
If you want to travel, I can put you on the 1-star and you'll start traveling. The 1-star is very powerful for travel, and you will start traveling. This is only if you desire to do that. But if you want to know the right direction, then I think we should talk privately and talk about which direction based on what you want. Do you want money, or do you want better relationship? Then we go into Qi Men.
Okay.
And we start talking about which direction to go to get that money. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
It's very detailed, and I can't tell you which direction to go. Yeah. I've got to look into it, you know. Yeah. All right.
So I just want you to know, I mean, this is really amazing, and that you combine the two, the Bazi. No, you just did Feng Shui, right?
You do combine the two. When I do a Feng Shui audit, and I will reduce the price of the audit for you guys if you want it done. And I highly recommend it because you get a complimentary Bazi reading. And let me tell you, it's better than seeing a doctor because nobody looks at the environment. And sometimes it's where you're at, where your bed's at. Most of the time it is. And a lot of times we're too late and the person gets cancer. Okay, there's energies that cause cancer, and that's the 2 and the 5 again. Those are the bad earth energies.
Except for Amy. Except for you, Amy. Except for you.
Amy can take it. She's the only one. She's yang, but she's strong. She can break that earth up like a tree.
I have a question.
Breaking it down.
I'm sorry, did someone have a question?
Yeah, so I have a special child.
Is that Neha speaking?
Yeah, this is Neha. Hi.
It'd be nice to see your face.
Nice to meet you. I have a special child, and I wanted to know if Feng Shui helps with controlling anxiety and sleep and for these children.
Yes, absolutely. We can look at the numbers in the house. Okay. And also we do something called Big Tai Chi, where we look at the whole house first, and then we put it into her room.
Okay.
And I've gone with masters to houses. Okay. And inside the room, we put the numbers from the big house in there.
Okay.
And she could be in a room where it's not good for kids if she's suffering from anxiety, or it might have like anxiety energies that are creating problems, you know.
Yeah, sleep has been a big problem for years now. And
you should look outside the window. There might be a sharp corner, something, some obstacle that's preventing her. Are there trees or is it clear out in the window?
It's pretty much clear. There is one tree, but pretty much the rest of it is clear.
There's no sharp corners from the roof lines from the other side of the...
No.
Okay. All right. What part of the house is she sleeping in now?
So this is north, south, east, west.
Okay, west is pretty clear. I don't think there's anything there. The things that are bad right now are east and south. But let me tell you, it rotates every year. But this year, it's east has the 5 yellow. And so that's a big shachi. And I even tried to put a salt cure, and it didn't work for me. I started coughing in March, so I moved out. I've been in the living room. And then the south also has the year breaker, which is also a negative affliction. And it has 2 things in the south. I actually moved my bed. Part of my bed was in the south. And when I moved it, I felt so much better. I felt so much better. When I moved it, I didn't wake up with aches and pains. I moved to the southeast, and there's nothing there. So, but the south has the year breaker and the is it the year breaker? Oh, and the 3 killings. Okay, that's off 45 degrees. It takes up it. And the thing is, most of the time these things don't bother you if you don't remodel or you don't bang on walls or break down walls. But you can actually sit there, and if you're quiet and still. But I remember I went around homes, and the master, if the person was ill, elderly and ill, he would completely avoid these afflicted areas for them to sleep in, especially after they had a stroke or they're suffering from infection. My mother-in-law had an infection in her leg, and he moved her to the living room to sleep for 2 years because there was nothing there. But she was sleeping in the 5 yellow, and the numbers were bad. And she ended up getting like her infection in her leg. And she was, it was bad.
So, Janet,
sure, I would love a consultation.
Yes, please.
You can give us a link.
Let's do this. If you can go ahead and put in into the chat everything that you are offering, which would be awesome. Or I'm happy to put it in the chat while you tell everybody what.
That would be great.
Okay, so go ahead and tell me.
Okay. Can you put my email in there? You have my email, right? Or Facebook Messenger. My Facebook Messenger is Janet Louie, L-E-W, Louie,
yep.
L-O-U-I-E. And you can find me there and message me there. And I'll give you, right now, I'll give you my email. I also can send you my Calendly. I don't think you
send a
have.
Calendly. And what's the offer that you're going to give to everyone?
Okay, if you want a one-on-one with me right now, I will, for normally one-on-one, I charge $280 an hour. I will give you a one-on-one to help you through the pandemic, to help you find online, see what you have in your Bazi chart for you to go, because right now, the only way you can make money is online. It's written in the year chart, and I went over that in class. I don't know if you remember that, Cynthia, but I went over in class.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had all my links ready, and I didn't. I'm
That's okay.
so sorry. And I will, if you guys give me your email, I'll copy it, and then I'll get a hold of you through your email if you put it in the chat. And what was I saying about the? I lost my train of thought now.
I don't know, but I apologize, but I need to.
Yeah, you need to stop it.
I need to stop.
Yeah, but
this,
leave your email on the chat if you want to get a hold of me. And here's I left my email. Janet Louie is my Facebook page. Just Facebook me, and I will send you my Calendly so we could have a one-on-one. September 2nd, also, I have another free session. September 2nd is my MetaView hour, and I will be hosting my students. Cynthia's in the class, and for Q&A, and you guys can listen in. Okay, September 2nd, Wednesday, 7 p.m.
And then really quick, I'm sorry, I think I missed it. What was your offer for your one-on-one consults?
One-on-one consult. Oh, that was what I lost my train of thought. Okay, so for 1 hour for $75, and that's really cheap.
It's very expensive.
I will give you a quick Bazi reading and which direction you should go based on the pandemic, what's going on, and your Bazi astrology. I will draw out what you need to do and which direction to go. Okay?
So what I think I'm going to do, Janet, is let's connect a little bit later. I will send, if it's okay with everybody, you can show me by giving a thumbs up, that I will send out everybody's Facebook information so that Janet can get a hold of you and you are connected. So let's see.
Yeah, I don't have everyone's email, but yeah, what I'd like to do is maybe take a quick picture so I can see who's here. Is that possible? Do we have a few minutes to do that? Or?
Actually, no, I actually have to drop off in 1 minute.
Okay, let me just take a quick picture. I got it. Okay, there you go. So I have your guys' face and picture, but I will need your email. So get a hold of me, okay? Yes. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed the session.
Yeah, thank you so much, Janet. You gave a lot of information.
Janet.
You're welcome, Stephanie. I'm hoping to see you guys on the Tuesday, Thursday group.
Yes.
So I've been busy.
Stephanie kind of runs that stuff, so you know.
Oh yeah,
Stephanie. She does not mess around. So come join us.
Yeah, I got to get a hold of you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an accountability group. All right, I am off at 1 o'clock. I am doing a. First of all, thank you so much, Janet.
You're welcome.
Go ahead
and post it on my study group. You want to be part of my study group?
Right. That's what I was going to say.
Newsletter free. I try to put out a bi-monthly newsletter free on Chinese metaphysics and wellness.
Yeah, let's put this on the Facebook page underneath the Chill and Chat so everybody knows. I can't do the Facebook Live, so I'm going to go ahead and post.
I'll put my Calendly on there so you guys could set up an appointment with me.
Sound good?
Yeah, at Sexy Edgy. All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks,
Janet.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks,
for joining.
Thanks, Kathleen. Niha.
Good job, Janet.
Yeah, thank you.
Not worthy. All right. See you all later, everybody.
Bye. See ya.